Hi, my name's Megan and welcome to my kitchen. In today's What's for Dinner video, I'll be sharing with you what we had this past week. Our dinners were easy and super delicious, so if you'd like to get some dinner ideas for your family that they will love and that are also budget friendly, then just keep watching. Tonight for dinner, I'm going to be making some brats and a pea salad. This pea salad recipe was given to me years ago by a lady that I used to work with. I'm going to start by taking some romaine lettuce that I have washed and chopped and placing it into a serving dish. I'm then going to add some hard-boiled eggs that I have sliced and layer that on top. I will include the recipe for this in the description box below. I am having my original recipe. This is great to make for potlucks or family get-togethers. This would also be great for Thanksgiving. Next, I'm going to add some peas that I have thawed. Then I'm going to set that aside and make my dressing. So to make the dressing, you'll just take some mayonnaise, then some sugar, then I'm going to add a little bit of milk and stir that together until it's combined. Then I'm going to spread that on my salad. And it may look like there's not going to be enough dressing, but trust me, once this is stirred all together before serving, you'll see that there's enough dressing. Next, I'm going to add a layer of shredded cheese. And then I'm going to add a layer of bacon. I have just cooked this bacon and chopped it. And finally, I'm going to cover this and place this in the refrigerator for a couple of hours until dinner's ready. I have some turkey jalapeno smoked sausages from Aldi that I found in my freezer. I'm going to cook that in my air fryer at 390 degrees for about 7 or 8 minutes. And here are the finished plates. I just served them on some hot dog buns. Mine is plain. My husband's has some sauerkraut, ketchup, and mustard. I stirred together the salad before serving it, but you can just serve it as a layered salad. Again, this salad would be great for Thanksgiving. It's a really easy and yummy salad. And then these brats were pretty good. They had a nice little kick to them. And that's dinner tonight. Dinner tonight is a teriyaki chicken casserole. I decided to make some yum yum sauce to go with it. Yum yum sauce is really easy to put together. You probably have all the ingredients in your pantry. This is what you will need. You'll need some mayo, some ketchup, some sugar, some cayenne pepper, some garlic powder, some paprika, and a little bit of butter. And again, I'll link the recipe in the description box below for this. To get started in a small mixing bowl, I'm just going to melt my butter in the microwave. I'm then going to add my mayonnaise, then the garlic powder, next the cayenne pepper, then the paprika, then the ketchup, and then the sugar, and then I'm going to stir that until it's combined. Now, I always go by the measurements in the recipe for everything, but then I taste it, and then I'll adjust. So if you want to add a little bit more cayenne pepper, do so. You can really adjust this to your taste. I actually made this the night before. This really needs time for the flavors to come together, so make it the night before if you can, or at least a few hours in advance. Now for the casserole, I have 2 chicken breasts in a baking dish that I've lined with foil and sprayed with cooking spray. This will make cleanup a lot easier. I'm going to take some teriyaki sauce. This just happens to be homemade, but you can use bottled. I'm going to spread the teriyaki sauce over both sides of the chicken, and then I'm going to place the chicken in a preheated oven at 350 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes or until your chicken is cooked to 165 degrees. I'm then going to remove the chicken to a separate bowl and shred it with a couple of forks. I'm going to throw away the aluminum foil and then spray my baking dish with some cooking spray. Next, I'm going to add some cooked rice. This is just cooked instant rice, but you can also use regular or just leftover rice. I'm then going to add some frozen vegetables that I have steamed in the microwave. along with some teriyaki sauce, and you can add whatever other seasonings or vegetables you like here. Now I'm going to stir that together until it's combined. I'm then going to place this mixture back into my greased baking dish and bake this for about 30 to 40 minutes. This recipe is a great way to use up leftovers or clean out your fridge. Whatever meats or vegetables you've got in your fridge, you can just toss it in, and you can also use leftover brown or white rice. I'm also going to make these pot stickers. I found these in my freezer and I want to use them. I got these at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to try them in the air fryer on 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. I sprayed them with cooking spray and I turned them about halfway. And here are the finished plates. I wasn't super hungry this night, so I didn't serve myself any of the pot stickers. I did steal a bite, though, for my husband's just to try. So I've got the teriyaki chicken casserole with some yum yum sauce, the pot stickers, and some of this gyoza sauce from Trader Joe's. It's really good. I then also have some of the remaining teriyaki sauce and some sriracha sauce that we can put on top if we would like. And this casserole was really good. I recommend this. And those pot stickers were really good as well. This night was Halloween. I wanted something easy and still festive, so here's what I did. I took some frozen potato wedges, cooked those in the air fryer. I topped those with some Rico's nacho cheese sauce and some bacon bits. For the burgers, I just took some hamburger patties and cooked those in a skillet over the stove. I then took a small paring knife and cut out a jack-o'-lantern face and a slice of American cheese and topped the burger with that. Our drinks are just some orange soda poured over some orange sherbet, and that was dinner tonight. I am not at all artistically talented, so if I can make these little jack-o'-lanterns, you definitely can. I hope you and your family had a really happy Halloween. Tonight for dinner, I'm going to be making Alice Springs chicken, so I have a couple of chicken breasts on a cookie sheet that I've lined with foil and cooking spray. I'm going to season both sides of my chicken with some of this barbecue seasoning and some salt and pepper. I will link the original recipe that I got this from down in the description box below. It's from Plain Chicken. I do make a couple of changes to it, though, that I got from Jessica O'Donoghue's channel, so I'll try to find her video and link it in the description box below. But I'm just going to season both sides of my chicken, and then I will pop that into my oven. I've got my oven set at about 375 degrees. I'm going to cook this for about 20 to 25 minutes or until my chicken is about 165 degrees. While the chicken is cooking, I'm going to saute some mushrooms. I've washed these and sliced them, and I'm just cooking them in a little bit of oil, and then I'm going to set those aside. For one of the sides tonight, I'm going to do some roasted broccoli. So I have a head of fresh broccoli that I've just cut into florets. I have that on a cookie sheet. I'm going to add some oil, some salt, some pepper, some garlic powder, and then I'm going to toss that together, and I'm just going to put that into the oven along with the chicken. Now that my chicken is cooked all the way through, I'm just going to top it with the sauce. The recipe calls for honey mustard. Jessica O'Donoghue suggested adding a little bit of barbecue sauce, so that's what I'm going to do. So this mixture here is just some leftover honey mustard. You can just use bottled, and I've mixed it with a little bit of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, or you can use your favorite barbecue, or you can just use straight honey mustard. But I'm going to put that over my chicken. Then I'm going to take a couple of slices of bacon that I have cooked, and I'm going to break those into pieces and put that on top of my chicken. Next, I'm going to add my sauteed mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, you can just skip this step. Finally, I'm just going to add some shredded cheese. This is a Fiesta blend cheese, but you can use whatever your family's favorite is. I'm going to pop this back in the oven for about 5 minutes or until the cheese is melted. For my second side tonight, I'm just going to cook some of these baby red steam in a bag potatoes that I got at Walmart. I've cooked those in the microwave and I'm just going to place that in a bowl. They were just a little bit large for me, so I'm just going to cut those into smaller pieces. And what I'm going for are kind of those pre-packaged microwavable potatoes along with the seasoning packets. Those are really good and convenient, but they're like $4 for a small package. And this bag of potatoes at Walmart was $1.97, I believe. So this is a little bit more budget-friendly way to do that. So I'm just adding a couple of pats of butter, and then I'm going to stir that around. And then I'm going to add my seasonings. Tonight I'm using some salt, some pepper, and then some of the seasoning that I got from Aldi. It's their version of the Mrs. Dash garlic and herb. And then I'm going to stir that together. And you can really use whatever seasonings you and your family like. This is really versatile. Just use whatever seasonings you all like and season it to taste. And here is the finished chicken along with the finished broccoli. And here are the finished plates. Dinner might seem a little simple tonight, but this was my favorite meal. This was so good. The chicken was flavorful and juicy. The potatoes were delicious. The broccoli was good. I highly recommend this. Tonight for dinner, I'm going to be making burrito casserole. This is really easy to put together and it is a family favorite. I'm sure you and your family will enjoy it. I got this recipe years and years ago from a girl that I used to work with who was also a friend of mine. So to get started, I'm going to spray a casserole dish with some cooking spray. I'm then going to take a can of crescent rolls and I'm going to line the bottom of my baking dish. Now I'm having this recipe because it's just my husband and I, but I will include the recipe down below in the description box. And for a 9x13, you would just use one of the larger regular size cans of crescent rolls. But I'm just lining that together and pressing them until they form a single layer. I'm then going to take some refried beans. Again, I'm having this, so I'm going to use about a half of a can. I'm putting those into a bowl and then I'm going to season them with some salt and some pepper. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of water. I only added probably maybe a tablespoon of water just to loosen these up a little bit. And I'm going to give that a stir. And if you don't have, or if you don't like refried beans, you could just use black beans or pinto beans here. Then I'm going to take the refried beans and put them on my crescent rolls and just spread it out until it's a nice layer. Next, I'm going to take some taco meat that I have cooked. This is just some ground turkey seasoned with some taco seasoning, but you can use ground beef. And then I'm going to spread that out. And finally, I'm going to add a layer of shredded cheese. I'm just using some Colby cheese that I have shredded because that's what I have on hand, but you can use whatever your favorite is or whatever you have on hand. I'm going to place this in my preheated oven. It is set to 375 degrees. I'm going to cook it for about 20 to 25 minutes or until the crescent rolls are cooked all the way. And here's the finished casserole. I'm just going to allow it to cool for a few minutes before I cut into it. And here are the finished plates. To serve the burrito casserole, you can top it with whatever toppings you all like. We normally do some sour cream and diced tomatoes. My husband also likes to add a little bit of shredded lettuce. And then I've served this with some side salads with some ranch dressing. And I've also got some taco sauce, hot sauce, and some salsa on the side just in case we want to add that as well. But that's dinner tonight. Tonight's dinner is just going to be really simple. I have some chicken drumsticks in the freezer I want to use up, so I am going to bake those. So I have a baking dish here that I have lined with foil and sprayed with cooking spray, and I'm just going to season my chicken. You can use whatever seasonings you like here. I'm going to use some paprika, some onion powder, some garlic powder, some salt and pepper. I'm going to season this side, and then I'm going to flip it and season the other side. And again, use whatever your family's favorite seasonings are. Then I'm going to place my chicken into my preheated oven. It's set to 375 degrees. I'm going to cook this for about 15 minutes, then flip my chicken over and cook it for another 15 to 20 minutes or until the temperature in the chicken is about 170 degrees. Now I'm going to start on my sides, so I'm going to make some cream cheese corn and some glazed carrots. So to start the corn in this back burner over about medium heat, I'm going to add some butter, then some cream cheese, then a little bit of milk. And I will include this recipe down in the description box below. My grandmother used to make this, and I haven't had it in a long time, so I wanted to make it tonight for dinner. I'm then going to add some salt and some pepper. And then I'm going to add 2 cans of corn that I have drained and stir that together. And then I'm just going to have this on about medium-low heat. And I'm just going to cook this while my chicken is cooking, and I'll just come back and stir it every so often. Now on this front burner, I am going to start my carrots. So I just have a small saucepan here over about medium heat. I'm going to add in a little bit of butter. I'm going to add a can of carrots that I have drained. I'm just cooking for my husband and I tonight, but if you're cooking for a larger family, you might want to use 2 or even 3 cans of carrots. I'm then going to add some brown sugar. I have about a teaspoon here, and I'm using about 2 heaping teaspoons of the brown sugar. You can also use honey. That's really good in this as well. I'm then going to season this with just a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm going to give that a stir, and then same thing with the corn. I'm just going to turn that down on about medium to medium-low heat while the chicken is cooking, and just come back every so often and give it a stir. And here is the chicken out of the oven. This chicken was really flavorful and tender and juicy. Here are the carrots, and here's the corn. And here are the finished plates. I just have the chicken along with the carrots and the corn. Sometimes I will add some bacon bits and sliced green onions to the corn. That's really, really good. But tonight I just left it plain like my grandmother's recipe. And that's dinner tonight. It was really simple but really delicious. Thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen today. If you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up button below and subscribe to my channel. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.